Apparently, people keep whining and fussing from both sides of the aisle about stimulus for the people. I want checks, government, write me more money, please, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to be covering the most recent offering, bipartisan group, to offer two-part coronavirus relief package, okay? Right? So we have overrated Dino Senator Joe Manchin, the third, I believe, and they're introducing $908 billion coronavirus relief bill Monday, right? With a twist. The deal is expected to be split into two separate pieces. One would be a $748 billion piece of coronavirus relief with less controversial items like school and healthcare. The other would carry $160 billion in money for local governments with a temporary liability shield. Interesting, right? So 750 billion for schools which are overfunded, and by overfunded what I mean is they've already been given, I believe, $150 billion from President Trump or something like that. And in terms of healthcare, again, the hospitals are not full, and honestly, we spend too much on it. So again, we're not running out of money. The CARES Act, I still think, has hundreds of billions of dollars out there. And again, these people will not get too trigger happy as to print more money. Oh wait, yes, they do it all the time. And again, $160 billion are for local governments, which is bad because you have governments such as California and New York, which tax a lot but spend a lot, and because of that have a bigger shortfall as their tax revenues go down as a portion of what they're spending, whereas in Arizona or in Texas, where the spending is lower, the tax fall isn't as big of a deal. Therefore, their austerity caused them to not get the same bailout that California and New York get, which is unethical. To give New York what we sacrifice because they did not sacrifice, that is a bad thing. Okay? In terms of the negotiation, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has suggested dropping them and concentrating on less decisive areas. McConnell has long called a liability shield from coronavirus legislation his red line. While congressional Democrats say that the money for states and cities are a top priority, of course it is, some Republicans from states with hard-hit budgets like Bill Cassidy from Louisiana are also pushing for local aid, but many conservatives don't want to send the money to the states. Splitting the bill could make it more likely to get relief package, but it would be losing a little bit of the effect. And earlier, Cassidy and Joe Manchin said that the group of bipartisan negotiators will introduce $908 billion worth of spending. On Monday, Manchin framed the proposal as an emergency measure that will help the nation get through the first quarter of 2021, which is a 3-month stretch, which he predicted to be the toughest first quarter the U.S. has ever faced. So basically, this $1 trillion almost is only going to be for 3 months. So if we keep it up this way, that's going to be completely ridiculous, as $908 billion is already going to be approximately 1/4 of what we get in tax revenue a year, which means that we're going to be spending dollar for dollar stimulus money in exchange for the tax revenue, and that's not even counting Social Security, the Army, Medicare, Medicaid, etc. So again, this is just would it be quadrupling or doubling the spending? Again, completely idiotic and insane. Yep. And, of course, people are going to be lapping it up. Bipartisan, bipartisan, bipartisan. I don't care about bipartisan. Who cares? And look, you have Senator Josh Hawley, who, again, overrated, and Bernard Sanders are demanding a vote on a new round of direct checks to Americans, further complicating the week ahead. Because these pompous populist assholes want to say that, oh, we want checks. And even though that bipartisan bill has checks already within it, I believe, they're still going to be like, oh, we need direct checks right now, $2,000 direct check. Oh, I want to help the working man. Really, Josh Hawley, who says, oh, we need, the deficit, oh, tax cuts. But then all of a sudden he's saying big government spending, okay? And why? He's saying, well, we need the spending because the government is shutting us down. Well, in the first place, they should not be shutting us down. And not only that, but increasing the debt is going to make things worse. And unless you're a Keynesian economist respecter, you're not going to believe that bailing us out will help us at all in the long term. Therefore, we must open back up the economy. And, I mean, that's bottom line. If we don't open up the economy, we're just printing money. And if we're printing money, we're going to become Venezuela very soon. Now, yeah, so again, they don't even enumerate what's exactly in this bill, but again, that's not a good thing. And again, I'm against the stimulus. The economy, in terms of the Dow and the stock market, has recovered completely, which is a good thing. And in terms of unemployment, we are at Obama 2012 levels or 2013 levels, so we're not that bad off. The economy is doing relatively okay. Again, the main concern with me, and not to sound like a complete fucking genius, but the debt is a pretty concerning issue right here. As you can see, 27.4 trillion only to go up. The spending is 6.6 trillion dollars, which is about a deficit of 3.2 trillion dollars. Typically, we have dealt with deficits of 1 trillion dollars. We're dealing with triple that because of stupid people in Senate and Congress saying that it's okay to lock down the country as long as you bail people out with money we don't have. So again, we can't afford this, okay? Yeah, stimulus. Oh, direct checks. From what money? Okay, that's like saying, oh, you make 10 grand a month. Okay, write me a $30,000 check. Oh, from what, sir? Oh, nothing. Exactly. You're just printing stuff out. And again, inflation will come and bite us all in the ass. So please, God, let's not borrow more money from China in the form of treasury bonds, or instead, let's not inflate the currency by printing money we don't have and pay for direct checks of people who should be working instead of, I don't know, sitting on their ass from getting a disease that they probably won't die from. Okay? And in terms of, well, the federal government can control whether or not there's a shutdown. Yes, you can. Sort of. Just impound money. Say, California, you will not get any federal funds if you do not ease up on the lockdowns. Or, I don't know, protest. I don't know. It'd be completely justified, by the way, if you use the rationale from Black Lives Matter to say, you are taking away my livelihood, Governor Newsom. How about I ride outside your house and I set your house on fire? That's the same logic the BLM does, and honestly, it'd be more justified. Obviously, I'm not calling for that. It doesn't need to go to that, but we should put pressure on the politicians to vote these people out if they're going to be spending money that they don't have. And just because they want to look good, they want to all of a sudden, say that, oh, no, we need checks. No, we need to open up the economy. Let me work, okay? Let me have the chance of working. So if we're gonna keep up with this this BS, Josh Hawley, Joe Manchin, Bernie Sanders crap, we're gonna end up with a debt right now, which is 27.4 trillion, and then end up with the debt in 4 years, just 4 years. That'll be 48 trillion dollars. That'll be the entire debt from 2016 added on to 2020. And again, how far have we fallen in the last 4 years when the debt was only $20 trillion? We increased it by 7, and it'll increase by 20 in 4 years if we do not stop this stimulus. The stimulus is wrong. We are robbing ourselves. We are robbing Peter to pay Paul, I believe is saying. So come on, not to sound like Rand Paul or Ron Paul, but we need to stop stimulus spending. And anybody who says that we should stimulus spend, you're an idiot, you're a Keynesian, you are dumber than FDR, probably, and honestly, it doesn't make sense. So stop saying you want to promise checks to people. If you want to be a populist, go ahead, but don't be a jackass and spend our money just so that we can sit on our ass longer and prolong the inevitable. It's procrastination at the federal level. So let's stop the stimulus and get back to work. Thank you for watching.